and just like that, I joined the Marine Corps. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about my childhood. Basically everything before I went to the Corps. Mostly just important things, or things that I think are kind of interesting. I was born in CVPH Medical Center, Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital, in Plattsburgh, New York, December 3rd, 1993. My mother, her water broke in a local sub chain called Direct Subs. The Plattsburgh one isn't even open anymore, so it obviously wasn't that good of a business. Oh yeah, and I was an emergency C-section, so my mom has this huge gaping scar across the front of her forever. Not much else really happened before I started school. The only two things really notably being both of my sisters. One of my sisters was born in 95, and my youngest sister was born in 97. I started pre-K in 1998 at St. Peter's Catholic School. It was a pre-K thing, day school for, I don't know, pre-K, whatever the fuck pre-K is supposed to be. But I don't really remember much, not that it really matters. But that brings us right into the next year where I switched schools and I went to public school. Yay! The next school I went to was Cumberland Head Elementary School, and their mascot was Champy, which is the lake monster that lives in Lake Champlain. Call it Champy. So the beginning of this is all boring, but in second grade I got glasses, and in third grade, there's this story. I had these two best friends all at this point in school, Sean and Parker. Parker was moving, so with that he was also transferring schools. He was just going to the city school, so it wasn't like he was going super far away, but he was still leaving our school. So they were having his going away party on that weird Monday. That Monday right before Thanksgiving break that everyone expects you to be there, but you and your family have already left for vacation. You know, that weird Monday. So we were going to have a cool little going away party for him that day, since it was just that weird Monday. It was also his last day at the school. Not only was it my best friend's last day of school, but it was the first time I had ever been sick and had to miss school. I only ever missed 7 days of school all throughout even high school. I liked going to school because I was a weird kid. And to wrap up elementary school, you can throw 9/11 in there somewhere, and we'll be moving on to middle school. Middle school was lame. I thought it would be super cool if I was in chorus, like the class. Turns out it wasn't, but I stayed with that until graduation. The only other thing that happened when I was in middle school is I started a forest fire. What the hell did you say? You started a freaking forest fire? Well, it was an accident. Does that really make it better? I guess not. Well, it was spring break of 2008. I was hanging out in a field with a friend because, my life is super exciting. And we were in said field playing with a lighter. Turns out, dead grass will burn way faster than you think it will. And all of a sudden, there's a nice big fire. We were playing in the field right next to the woods, so very quickly trees also started to catch on fire. I wish any of this was a joke. The fire department was called, and they quickly put out the fire that had spread at this point about an acre in size. I told the firefighter that showed up, the dude in charge, that I was sorry, and I handed him my fucking lighter, and he took my lighter and also didn't call the cops. He did tell me that it would be really nice of me if I did some volunteer hours at the fire station, so I said I would. I showed up when he told me to show up, and no one was there. All the fire departments in my town are very small volunteer fire departments, so he must have not told anybody to show up that day, so I just showed up to no one. So I left, and never went back. That's literally the end of that story. I didn't get in trouble. Nothing. Freshman year started strong. I started track, outdoor track, and I even got hit by a car. Wait, did you just say you got hit by a car? Yes. Jesus, these stories are getting absolutely ridiculous. Whatever, bro. Anyways, I started running track. I ran the mile and the 2 mile, sometimes the 800, and sometimes I threw shot put. Not that I was any good at that last one. Bro, They wanted to hear about you getting hit by a car. Literally no one cares what events you sucked at running. Wow, buddy. That was a little rough. But fine. I'll tell that story too. So it was actually like the very last day of freshman year, that Saturday, I think. My parents were in the car on their way to my sister's 8th grade graduation, if you want to call it that. And I was riding my bike to the Clinton County Fairgrounds to go to the Relay for Life, which is this event they hold every year where people like walk around in circles all fucking night and it's for cancer or some shit. I was about a quarter of a mile away from my house, and some pizza delivery driver whipped out of the gas station and hit the front of my bike, sending me over the car and onto the pavement. Which is why you wear your helmets, kids. Obviously, the paramedics had to show up, and I think my dad missed my sister's little graduation thing because of it. But I didn't get admitted or anything. I didn't even go to the hospital. I was fine, basically. My bike was absolutely destroyed. And my dad didn't file any charges on the dude either, because he promised to buy me a new bike, which he did, but it wasn't a very good bike. As high school progressed, I wasn't only cool enough to be on the track team and in choir. I was also in an all-male a cappella group called the Voicemails, because we were clever. And to make my life even weirder, I was also in drama club and ran cross country. I got pretty good at that running thing by the end, though. So graduation comes along. My friend Matt, the valedictorian. We didn't actually use that word though because it would leave people out. We also didn't have prom kings or queens because it didn't include everybody. But he had the highest GPA. So he had to turn his speech for graduation into the office so that they could approve it. Graduation comes and Matt does this.
This is not the speech you're looking for.
Then he invites me and my friend Rashid to come up and do an interpretive dance.
I'll provide in-text citations in the form of visual aids for my lovely assistants. Oh, Jerry? Where are there, Jerry? You too, Rashid?
Which we had obviously choreographed before graduation. Then Matt let us end his speech.
Friends, fellow graduates, super seniors, juniors who feel the need to graduate early for some reason. Lend me your ears for just a second. My name is Rashid Trombley.
And my name is Jerry Senegal.
And we were graciously asked by our good friend Matt to conclude his speech for him. So we would like to do so with a joke.
Public education.
I thank you.
And that was the end of high school. College was, well, I got a bunch of scholarships from a bunch of different schools. But I chose to go to the shitty state school in my hometown, SUNY Plattsburgh. It's actually not that bad of a school. It's just not where I wanted to go. I was studying physics with some mechanical engineering classes thrown in there, and all I did was party. I quickly realized that if I didn't get my shit together, I was going to fail all of my classes. So instead, I withdrew from all of my classes like the coward I am. That next semester, I started taking classes at the shitty community college in my hometown, Clinton Community College. I passed that semester, but the one thing that really came out of that was my impulsive decision to join the Marine Corps. So I was home one day for lunch while I was going to Clinton Community, and the phone rings. My dad answers it, talks to the dude on the phone, and says, "1 second." Hands the phone over to me and says, "Hey, it's your best friend Sebastian." So I take the phone. "Hey, Sebastian, what's up?" He responds, "Hey, I'm not Sebastian, and I don't know who that is, but I am Sergeant Stout with the United States Marine Corps." 15 minutes later, I was in an office, signed all my paperwork that day. Later that week, I went to MEPS, and just like that, I joined the Marine Corps. I had honestly never thought about it a day before that in my life. That summer, I picked up a job at a Catholic summer camp. Jerry, did you forget to mention that until this point in your life, you were extremely religious? Oh, it seems that I did. But yeah, so I worked at a Catholic summer camp as a counselor the summer before I left for the Corps. And that's basically it. That's my story until I left for the Marine Corps. Thanks guys for watching this. If you liked like this, like, comment, subscribe. The whole thing in the description. Thanks, guys.